Yeah, that's funny because there's a stereotype involved with Airbnb still today. Because I'll talk to people at my work. Like I said, I work at an airline. We travel. Most people travel a lot, and I'll ask them, "Hey, you ever stayed at an Airbnb? They got some Airbnbs over there." Like, man, I ain't staying in no one's house, man. That's nasty.
Right.
I'm like, what? It's better than a hotel.
Yeah.
A lot of times.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm like, low key, y'all be the same people that will go to the club and sleep at somebody else's house.
Yeah.
Oh, what are you talking about? Like, you only knew this dude for like a couple hours. You stayed at his crib. What's different?
Welcome to Live, Let, Thrive, a podcast about the Airbnb life, the share economy, and everything in between. Here are your hosts, Micah and Steve.
Hello.
And welcome back to another exciting episode
Of Live,
Let
Thrive. What up?
Not much. I've been good. How you been, Steve-O?
Doing all right. We got a special guest today on episode 59 of Live, Let, Thrive. Give it up for Dee Greene.
What's going on, y'all? What's up?
So I'll introduce him a little bit because I just met him. I just met him online, and he says he does pretty much everything in Airbnb, or everything of everything. So yeah, man, just describe what you do to the audience a little bit. Let them know what's up.
So what we're up to now is I run Vantage. So it's pronounced Vantage like you normally would, Vantage. But we wanted to do it unique. So it's Vantiij. And basically, the way I came up with that was me and my girlfriend recently went to Paris in I think it was May, and so I wanted to do like a surprise trip where I was going to propose to her in Paris, and so during that whole planning process, I was like, dang, this is crazy. Like, I got to do a lot of stuff. Like, people kept asking me, like, yo, who's helping you do all this? I was like, it's just me, really. Like, they're like, dang, you know what to do? I'm like, I mean, I just like doing that kind of stuff, like planning trips and doing all this. So what I kind of realized, I was like, dang, there's a lot of people that when it comes to travel, like, they don't really know how to plan it successfully. Like, you can have one person that sets you up for success when it comes to a vacation. You got somebody else over here that they're like, yo, we're going to go to X, Y, Z. And then when you get there, the Airbnb is busted. Like, the places you go to eat is terrible. You know what I mean? Like, everybody knows that friend is like, can't be in charge of the plans. So I was like, yo, we need to have some type of website or a platform where we can kind of like give people a better experience. And I was like, we always use Airbnb, but there's a couple of, I guess you would say, objections that people give us. One is like, oh, I would never try it because it's like mad random, or I'm scared of it, or whatever. Or people are like, I've used it, but I didn't have a good experience. And so people would always ask us, how do you guys find these good places? And I'm like, it's not like you just go on Airbnb and pick the first thing you see. Like, there's research that you need to do. You need to look at the reviews, look at the pictures, talk to the host, like ask questions, like pretend like you're there before you actually go, and see if this is something that you would like once you get there. Like, you have to kind of visualize it. So I was like, we should just handpick, like go through every location, handpick what we feel are the most unique, and then provide it to people and like curate a list. So that's pretty much like what we're doing now. We go through each location. So I think we're even looking at like Atlanta, like earlier today, and there's like over 300, like 400, 500, like maybe over 1,000 Airbnbs there. So it's like we look through each one, we find which ones actually are unique, and then we'll put it on our site for people to easily find. Like, that's kind of like what we want to do is like, yo, when I see a lot of people, they'll go to, let's say, Europe, Paris, for example, and you know that they stayed in an Airbnb, but on their Snapchat, Instagram, Facebook, all you see is the Eiffel Tower, the Louvre, them on the boat. I'm like, okay, if you stayed in a 5-star resort, you would definitely have that on your story. You would definitely be posting the lobby, you'd be posting the room service. So basically what that's telling me is that you just picked the trash like Airbnb to stay at. It's like you need, like, that's an experience that you're missing out on. Like, staying at somebody's beautiful home is an experience like in itself, and it's like one of a kind because there's only one of that specific house. Like, hotels can be replicated. So I was like, that's basically what we want to do. Like, let's help people add a layer to their travel experience. That's pretty much like where we're at with Vantage right now.
So it's kind of like you want to be Airbnb travel agents in a way.
I don't know if I would say trap. So we don't basically, like, people can't hit us up and be like, hey, we're staying in Atlanta. Where can you find us a spot? Like, there's 3 of us. We want somewhere with Wi-Fi, da. It's more like, hey, we're exposing you. Kind of like how you have on, I think, Spotify. Like, people make playlists. So instead of me actually going through each song for R&B and saying which ones do I like, I can just follow a trusted source and be like, okay, they're going to make a playlist that's probably good for me. So that's what we want to be for Airbnb. Like, instead of you spending an hour, 2, 3 hours, 4 hours searching through them, you can just come to our site and look. Or if you just want to base your trip around a unique Airbnb, you can just come to the site and look.
So Airbnb hosts need to get with you, and people will have exclusive, like, okay, if I go through my man Dee Greene, he got the hookup on the good Airbnbs.
Right, yeah, the guests, yeah.
Oh, that's
so
dope.
It's like, they'll hit us up and be like, oh, I'm looking to go. Eventually, we want to have, like, every location. So, like, yo, I'm about to go to Florida. Let me check Vantage first, see if there's anything that meets my needs, if anything's available. Saves me a lot of time because there's only going to be, like, 10 or 20 per location. And you know they're all dope. So check those out first. If not, then you can still go to Airbnb like you were going to anyways. But at least you know this is the place that you should be starting.
That's dope, man. I gotta put my places with you.
What we started rolling out today is, I was like, okay, one objection is people for Airbnb is like, I don't want to stay at somebody's like a random person's house. But like, if I knew y'all and I was like, yo, I'm coming to Arlington, like, and you were like, oh, hey, I'm not even going to be at my house, you can just stay. Like, that wouldn't be weird. I would just be like, all right, cool, it's going to save me money. Like, why wouldn't I do it? So I'm like, people need a way to meet the host. But on Airbnb, they don't really care about that. They just want to get their money in their cut. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, we made a profile now on Vantage where we'll put a video of the host introducing themselves, they can take a video of their space, like a tour, and post it. And then we'll put their Facebook, their Instagram, all their links. And then this can be their profile that they can share. So it has their Airbnb link, has a video of them, a video of their space, and all their social media, like, listings and a picture. So you can put everything in one place. People can get to know you better and start to build that trust.
That's dope.
That's cool, man. I want to jump into the money aspect of this because that's, I like talking about money. Could you give us a little bit of background about yourself? You're out in Orlando. How'd you start? And we always have the entrepreneur spirit.
How did I start what?
How did you start out? I guess, you told us how you started out in the world of Airbnb. You were a traveler first, right?
Right.
And that's what led you to this idea. So, because did you ever want to Airbnb yourself, like places, your own places?
Be a host, you mean?
Yeah, host. Yeah.
Yeah, that was like one of my. As soon as I started using the Airbnb and I ran across good hosts, like you guys use Airbnb frequently, I'm guessing, right?
I do. Micah don't.
So for example, have you ever came across the host that's like, they don't just open up your house and let you stay there. They have like the guidebook. They let you know like the good restaurants that are around. They like might stock the fridge up. Like they'll text you like, hey, if you're going out at night, this is a place to go for a fire barbecue, or here you go for like drinks at night. So once I saw that, I'm like, dang, this is a level of customer service that you can use, but you can also meet so many people around the world and like really make connections and like change people's lives. So now you have a friend that's coming over from Germany that you might know and be cool with them when you go back over there. So I was like, this is like a cool, I used to Uber like back in the day. So I was like, it's just cool like meeting people that way. So I was always like, I want to be an Airbnb host, but I want it to be at like a really cool like place. So I was like, in the meantime, why don't I just find the other cool places and meet people with those?
Oh, that's cool. That's cool, man. Real quick, you said you have like a basketball background, right?
Yeah, yep.
Do you think the Raptors are stupid for giving so much to get Kawhi Leonard?
So let's talk about that, because I was just thinking about that a minute ago. What all did they give in return for Kawhi Leonard? I know they gave DeMar. What else?
I think like a first round draft pick.
Top
somebody
20
else.
pick.
and somebody else.
And somebody else? I don't understand the logistics behind that.
The logistics is Popovich just won another trade.
That man's a genius. It's like I don't even want to play there. Supposedly,
No, he doesn't.
No, he'll be in LA in a year, after
He
that.
probably won't even buy a house out there. He'll probably stay in somebody's Airbnb for his contract.
he's gonna come answer like, "Hey, bro, you got any places in Toronto? I need something long term." Like what?
Oh man, no, back
From Airbnb in the whole season, like yo, just somebody trade me.
Airbnb.
Oh man. So real quickly, I'll ask you real quick about the money. Like, I guess you make money like people signing up and starting subscriptions to your site or something like that.
Yeah. So right now, subscription is free. So if you want to be a member, you just all we ask is like that you have to sign up so we get your email and everything like that, and then it's free. So now with how I was talking about how we have like the profiles, that's going to be one of our main sources of income. So if you're a host, like, and you have a really unique place, we'll feature you on the site like for free, but all you get is just the image. So it just shows like your place, you click it and it goes to Airbnb. Now, if you want a profile where you can add a video, all your links in like a way people can get to know you more, then it's like we're going to charge them. Right now, it's only $25 a month. So it's like it's not that much for you to build that trust that you can't do anywhere else.
Wow, I might have to get with you on that.
Yeah, we got to get a profile on there.
Yeah, that $25 a month, we can make that. We can cash flow to $25. Now, if I want to cash, like, okay, do I get one per listing, or can I like send you my business profile page and all my listings come up?
Yeah, so right now what we have is called, I guess this is important for people to know. So it's called, basically we have like a verification process. So people can go to our website, go to the Be Featured page, and they'll send us their listings. And we'll go through them, and the first step is like, do we feel like this place is unique enough to be on the website? So think of it, if people know of this, as like the Michelin of Airbnbs, right? So they only pick certain restaurants that they focus. You can't be like, hey, we're going to pay you X amount of dollars and we're going to be on here anyways, even though we just like a little KFC out here or whatever, you know? It has to be like a certain, we feel like it has to be unique. That way it's people know what to expect when they go to the website. So then after that, let's say if we accept it and somebody wants to have a profile, we just charge them right now. It's like a setup fee. And then it's $25 a month for the first listing, and then $15 a month for any listing after that qualifies. And we put it all on the same page.
That's
So
cool.
if let's say somebody clicks on one of your locations and then they go to that profile, all your other ones will pop up under it. So in the case that they wouldn't have clicked it, they can still like stumble upon it. So what my goal is, like, you can put this on your Instagram or your Facebook or your Twitter. People can go to it and they're like, oh, dude has an Airbnb, but now I can see the Twitter for the Airbnb. I can message him on Facebook, which Airbnb is not going to let you do that. So now you can like actually talk to people, DM them on Instagram, like their pictures on Instagram. You can see a video of them talking. You can see a recording of their space. To me, it's like you get to know them like so much more rather than just looking at some pictures that are most of the time took on some little Android phone.
I like how you said that. You can't be no hole in the wall. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
What's cool about this is it's genius, really, because like you said, a lot of people, okay, you see some pictures online, whatever, people took them with their iPhone, and you get there and you're like, holy crap, you know, what is this place I'm staying at? And it happens a lot because there's so many people doing Airbnb now, and not a lot of them are very good at it. But to be able to provide like an in-depth look at it in video and, like you said, a walkthrough, something like that, is pretty awesome. And it reminds me, because I told Micah, a buddy of mine, he went to Russia like a few weeks back to go stay at to go watch his team Peru played over there in the World Cup, you know. And so he got there and he said, this place is a dump, man. He asked me, because this is the first Airbnb he ever stayed at. He's like, this place is nasty. It's a dump. How can I get out of this? I'm supposed to stay here 3 weeks. And I'm like, well, I said, I don't know if you can get your money back. You could ask, but tell Airbnb, see what they can do. And I think he waited too long to tell Airbnb, but I think he was he ended up leaving. He just lost that money found another spot in the city closer to where he needed to be. And he just rolled the dice, and he's all the way in freaking Russia. What are you gonna do, man?
And he'll probably never do it again because that one experience, and he'll correlate that to Airbnb when really it's that person's fault.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
not the company. That's what people fail to realize, but it just happens like that.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with like how I mentioned before, like Michelin, like with the restaurants.
Oh yeah.
You guys,
No.
So you said, yeah, Michael, you are or no?
No. Go ahead.
No, you're not, or no, you are.
No, I'm not familiar with.
So
You said,
Michelin is kind of like, it's like they're like hidden, like no one knows who they are, but they'll come through and they can give a restaurant like a 5-star. Like before, when people would travel and they would look on maps, they would look and say, oh, this is like the best restaurant in New York or wherever. But there's only like so many. So if you get like a Michelin star, that means like you're like literally one of the best restaurants like in the world. So
wow.
if you watch some of these movies, like they go crazy. Like they're making sure there's no fingerprints on the plates. Like they're like going over control. So my point with Vantage is like how he had a bad experience is like if there was a website that like right now Airbnb is just like, yo, anybody can be on here. Like if they have a bad experience like that, like, oh well, kind of type of thing. Like, okay, you get a bad review, but that's it. But if it's like, hey, if you're like that, we're not going to feature you on the site. And now these people that are featured on the site are able to not one, get more traffic, but because they're on the site, like a Michelin restaurant, now you can charge more money because it's deemed as better. So now people are going to want to step up their quality. So hopefully that increases the value of the Airbnb community. Like, yo, if I have this dump over here, like people aren't going to come, it's not going to get featured on this website, I can't make more money, not going to get as many views. But if I keep it up and they're feature me one day, now instead of a $50 place, I can charge $100, 120, 130. And so people, hopefully, they will step up their quality. Because the guests will tell us, like, yo, this place is slacking. They say, yo, we can't feature you anymore.
Oh, and it forces you to keep your stuff going. So then it brings in more revenue. Okay.
Yeah.
Popeyes
so like,
for the ballers with a ghetto eating churches. Gotcha.
It's actually repercussions where Airbnb, they're just going to be like, oh, well, we had to refund their money or whatever, but you're still on the site for the next person to stay there, have the same experience. But we're going to be like, hey, no, we got to take you off. So they're like, dang, that's a lot of money now. Because people are going to be like, oh, I don't see you on that site anymore. All those people that were viewing you from the site aren't going to see it. You're not going to have that profile anymore. It's like, yo, you got to stay on point.
That's dope. You're vetting the Airbnb guests, the hosts, pretty much. That's dope.
Yeah.
And here's the thing with that also, because you mentioned about what's the worst that can happen, they get a bad review. A lot of times with these crappy places, people either don't leave a review or they're not honest about the review, because they don't want to hurt nobody's feelings. So you get there and you might have like 4 and 5 star reviews and you're like, what the hell? This is like a 2-star place, but people just didn't want to like step on someone's toes.
Or what I've come into is like a lot of people that they'll hit us up from the Be Featured page. They'll like feature our page. It's not that it's a bad place, but it's nothing unique. It's just like you're going to somebody's like grandma's house, right? It's like, it's not that it's like in the projects, but it's nothing spectacular. So I think some people, they just don't know, right? They just like, you don't know what that level of quality is. So I think until some of those people really think it is a 5-star because you don't know where they come from. They might come from an area where it's like, that is really good to them. But when you have someone that knows that quality and they're able to, like you said, like vet it, and you start actually seeing what the cool ones around the world look like, then it like steps up your expectations. Like, okay, now when I go to this place, I know for sure like that's not a 5-star. Like, and you guys have to step up the quality. Like if it's not unique, it needs to be clean. You need to be on point with your customer service. Like you can't drop the ball on everything.
So right now, how many spots do you have on your site? How many places?
Like hundreds, thousands, probably. Like,
oh,
yeah.
Damn.
Dang. That's dope, man.
When did you start this?
In May.
And you already got thousands of places.
Yeah.
How,
like all day.
So how are these people finding you? I mean, how do you get your name out there?
So initially, we just rolled out that feature I was telling you with the profiles. Right now, it's places that we found. So we would literally go to like, let's say Rome, and we would look through every single one and just look for like the hidden gems we would put on our site, because we're like, that's how people are going to want to use the website. If we wait for people to hit us up, there's no like value. So it's like find the unique ones, drive the traffic to the people that are looking for them, and then we can tell the Airbnb host like, yo, we have all these people that are looking for you, but you're not on there.
Hey, so my question is this: so when you're finding them, you said you're going through them. So what are you vetting them with? Like, hey, this is one. So like, is it amenities? Is it reviews? What are you using to say, hey, we want this host on our profile?
So right now it's mainly like two things, right? It's like when you, based on the pictures, based on the information we have, is this a place that's going to make you want to pull your phone out as soon as you get there? Like when you get there, you're going to be like, dang, look at this. This is a dope spot. And then the second thing is when you get back home, is it going to make you want to like brag to your friends about it? Like, yo, this place that I stayed was really cool. Or are you only going to talk about the places that you went? So that's kind of like the two things. Gotcha. It's not just like a place you're going to like lay your head down at night. It's like, yo, this place was cool. Like you'll always remember like for the rest of your life, yo, that place we stayed in Florida, man, that was like the coolest place. Like even if it's just like, yo, they had the coolest pool, like the lights around the pool are cool. Like whatever you remember, it needs to be something that's unforgettable. So it's almost impossible for us to read like every review or every amenity, but that's kind of what we go through. And then the profiles will hopefully help people do further vetting of themselves. Of like, okay, this place has this and it doesn't have that or whatever.
Okay.
So you research Rome, for example. You find a bunch of places on there that you think are badass, and you throw them on your site. Now, do you reach out to all the hosts afterwards, or how do you do it?
No, so right now what I have is kind of like is like what I'm calling is like a show. So it's called Why Book It. I do it on Facebook Live and I post it on YouTube. So what I do is I pull up a screen recording like we're doing now, and I go through their whole listing. So I go to their listing, people can see my screen share, and I'm like, hey, this is this place that's in Australia. Let's go through all the pictures together. This is what I like about this place. This is what I don't like about this place. If I was the host, these are pictures maybe I wouldn't post or I would do this differently. Okay, now let's read about the space. Now let's look at all the amenities. Now you know, like, hey, this place doesn't have air conditioning. So for you lazy people that wouldn't have read all of this, now you know, and you don't go all the way over there and you don't know. Here's the availability, so here's when you should book it. And then we'll read like 2 or 3 reviews. And then here's an example of if you were to book it, how much it would cost. And if you took like 2 or 3 people about how much it would be. And then I kind of post that so people can see like, oh, okay, like they're picking the cool places out, and he's even telling me like what he likes about it. I don't have to do any work. So I started like hitting up some of those people afterwards, and a lot of those people are like, yo, cool, but a lot of them are like so far away that it's like even if they offer us a free stay, it's like we still have to pay for the flight. So it's kind of like now our focus has kind of shifted more towards like places in the U.S. where we can either drive to, or hopefully the profiles will compensate some of that travel. But with people uploading them to their profile, hopefully we won't have to do that, because like you can show us a tour of your own. Now we don't have to travel to each and every location.
Okay. Real quickly, could you hire me for a job? Because I travel all the time, and I work for American Airlines, so I fly for free. And with all these people going to give me free stays, I'll hop all over the world. I'll write reviews for you, and I'll be on your page as a blogger. Boom. I just got hired.
But really, though, we can talk about that, though. Because honestly, what I was thinking is, like, if we can get people to... This is one thing that I had. So kind of like a Michelin, kind of like how you go and they don't know when you're going to come. It's like, hey, you guys have to give us a free stay or give us the Airbnb credit. That way we can check it out, and we need to do some content for you for our website. Now, if they know that it's me coming, they're going to clean it up and make it look nice, and it's probably not going to be the same as if somebody else went. But if I have somebody, let's say like yourself, where I'm like, I just like give you the money to book it, and you just go, and they don't know that you're actually working for us, you can actually give it like an honest review. So it's like, hey, the host is on point, it wasn't on point, the place was clean, da-da-da. So that's definitely something we can...
So like a secret shopper.
Yeah, it's like, go check it out. Like, we could literally have people like that all around the world. It's like, yo, you might not get paid to stay, but you're staying at a place for free. So you're saving money.
I'm cool with the free stay, man. Big time.
Yeah, so we can talk about that, bro.
We'll talk about that.
Yeah, and so, like, are you only pulling these places off Airbnb, or are you going to multiple places?
Yeah.
Only Airbnb?
Right, yeah.
Ain't no hosts ever hit you up like you've been recording their YouTube stuff and they it happens to be their place, have they?
Nah. Everybody's like, yo, thank you so much for featuring us. Like, this is so cool. Like,
oh, that's dope, man. That's pretty cool.
And so I saw one video. I think it was there in Florida. He went to this house. You and your fiance, right?
Yeah, right.
Okay. And this is like a big house. They do wedding venues and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You got to see the video. But like the whole side of the house opened up like a garage. It looks like a regular side of the house, got little plants and stuff. Dang. But the whole thing opened up like a garage. And in there, they had like this whole dance floor type place. They had a little bar, like it looked like O'Reilly's bar or something. And you walk in there, it looks like a little bar.
Dang.
And so like you can hang out at like a wedding, type venue. They got the DJ set up, and they got little bars and restaurants inside there. Man, it's crazy.
Dang. Okay.
Yeah, that place was that's a crazy place. So what it was, this guy owned a plumbing company here in Orlando. He retired, so obviously he had a lot of money. So he had airplanes, so he would obviously put them in the hangar. And so I don't know what's up with this dude, but like you would think, right, for some place that's that unique, somebody had to say, yo, you should do Airbnb. So he's like, all right, I'm going to make it dope. But it's the opposite way around. He made it dope like that just for fun. But then people are like, yo, you should Airbnb this. Because I'm like, how long has this been around? Like, why? He just made this like for the guests? And they're like, nah, he just did that for fun, just so he would have like cool places to hang out. Like he wanted a pub in his hangar and like all this other stuff. I'm like, that's crazy. So it's actually an airplane hangar. So when you see the garage open up, it's actually like the hangar, but he made the outside look like the house.
Oh, okay.
Dang.
So airs out there, he put windows out there, all that. So it looks like a house, but it actually lifts up, and then that's when you can go inside. And they have the pub in there. They have dance floor. They have telephone booths. They have it's crazy, man.
It's awesome, dude.
Damn,
it has he has his own pub in his house, man.
Oh yeah.
And it's set up like a bar.
So
and like,
ask me when your question, you were like, do people say anything about us recording them or whatever? So after we posted that video, like they text me. They're like, yo, you're family now. Like anytime we have a party, like you're invited, like every time.
Oh,
so I think people appreciate that because they work hard on their places, and it's like they want somebody to like give them their credit or shine a spotlight on them, or however you want to put it.
That's the perks, cool. Man. The perks.
Yeah, that's really cool.
I want to be like in the 5-10 years from now, where it's like I can just get a gang of friends and be like, yo, we going to Rome. Like I know the Airbnb owners out there. I know mad people at the restaurants. Like we're just gonna be chilling once we go out there, and then we're gonna go to Italy, and it's gonna be the same. And we can go like wherever we go. It's like we just know that.
Those 5-10 years, I'll hit you up so we can roll over there for free. I'm with it. I can already get the travel for free. We get the spot. We good.
Like, oh, this was the first podcast that Vantage was on, so we're gonna do it right.
Definitely.
Oh, nice.
Yes,
nice.
sir.
See that's cool because I always thought, okay, Airbnb, it's literally like connecting the world, right? Mm-hmm. And then and you're taking that one step farther because you're helping them connect the world. You're telling people where the awesome places are, so they won't have bad experiences. They won't hop on Airbnb and have a bad experience and never do it again. And I'm just gonna stay at the same Hyatt every time I freaking travel. I know what I'm gonna get, and that's it. But people are by guiding people to the best Airbnbs there are. You're helping like you're helping the world become a smaller place. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, I want the guests to have better experiences, and then the host is like help them enhance like what they're doing, like take their business to the next level. So like now you're making more money, but you're meeting more people, you're doing your job even better.
Okay, I need to. Yeah, we're gonna have to see if a few of my spots qualify. Get with you.
So okay, so that's you gave us the gist of your business so far, and so how do you see yourself like growing it in the next few years, or even like branching out to? Would you picture doing other things with it just besides reviews of places, stuff like that? Do you see it? Do you see yourself doing other things with it?
I think as far as Vantage is concerned, as far as like doing other things, I think it would be unique experiences. So I feel like a lot of people when they travel, they all do the same thing. So if you have a friend that went to, let's say you have a friend that goes to New York, right? And then that friend doesn't know your other friend, but they go to New York. And you give both of them a sheet of paper and you're like, write out what you did. It's probably going to be almost the same. Like, we went to the Statue of Liberty, went to the Empire State Building, we went here, we went there, we rode the subway. It's going to be the same stuff. So I'm like, why don't you just create like your own vacation, kind of like what you do at home? Like you don't go to the same place that everybody else does. Like you have that restaurant in your hometown that you love to go to. You have this certain thing that you love to go to. You have certain spots. So I'm like, when you go to like a New York or you go to overseas or wherever, like go where the local people go. Don't just go somewhere just because people are taking pictures of it, and you wouldn't care about that place if it was out your home. Like go to cool places. So Vantage could also be like, hey, we're gonna give you only the best like places to eat, or like the best like hangout spots, or like the best attractions. So it's like, what I really want to do too, and Airbnb is pretty much going to do all the work, is like we'll tell you the best Airbnb experiences in that area. So it's like we'll test them or have other people test them. So now it's like when you go stay at an Airbnb, now we can connect you with the hosts that are actually doing like the experiences there. It's like we can help them out too.
That's awesome, man. Critiquing the experiences.
Build it is kind of like doing stuff that we're doing now, and also doing like the video I showed you. So if I have a YouTube channel, like let's say a year or two from now, that has like, let's say 30, 40, 100 videos, and they're all like 6 Airbnbs like that, I think people are going to kind of start to get the point. Like, hey, if I'm looking for a cool place, this is probably the place I should follow. Because they always find like cool places. So I think it's just like finding a way to travel, find these places, document them, and then document the process of us kind of building the business at the same time.
Yeah, I think that video thing is really what's going to take it to a new level, because I know a lot of people, like Airbnb hasn't came with the video yet. And you give them that experience, man. That's dope. Especially those like. And another thing is, if you ever are you into the, well, I don't know how you do it, but those 3D, you know how you can go in with the 3D and people just click around. Okay. Yeah, like that's even cool too. You know, so it's so many picks and shovels that Airbnb has created, and I'm happy you hopped on one. That's a pretty good one, man.
What I've been thinking about lately is like, what can I do for these hosts that hosts can do, that you don't have to know how to work the camera or know what fancy equipment to get that. Because I'm like, if I come over to your guys' house like right now, and you just got back from, let's say, California, and you stayed at a cool place, it ain't gonna be no 3D video. It's not gonna be no drone footage. It's gonna be on your phone, and you're gonna show it to me, and I'm gonna probably be like, oh dang, that's a dope spot. Like next time I go out there, I want to check it out. So I'm like, how can I help hosts do that? Like, hey, here's my spot. And then you're like, dang, that's cool. And then they're like, hey, my name is Jim. I'm out here in, California. This is my place. I just wanted to say hi to you guys. I always stock the fridge. Like, you guys can take care of this. I'll let you guys know. Here's my guidebook. Like a minute and a half video. And then you're like, oh, wow, like that guy doesn't seem too bad. Like, he's cool. That's not a random person. I feel like I know him. I'll book this place.
Man, that's cool you said that, because on my way over here, when I just left an Airbnb meetup, and I started noticing, like, some of the hosts aren't happy with Airbnb, yada yada. But I was thinking that's the next big thing, is how can you help hosts make their experience of hosting better? That's a good one. You're onto something with that.
I don't think Airbnb, they're a good company, but I just don't think that's their focus right now for whatever reason. Mm-hmm. I mean, they got their money and they got to grow their platform. It's hard for them to do everything at once. But if you go on Airbnb's Facebook and you dig in the comments, that's all you're going to see. Like, yo, I didn't get my money back. I had a bad experience. Some guest said something for me. Airbnb ducked my calls. I couldn't get someone to answer. Like, that's all I see. So I'm like, yo, I want to give y'all a good experience. Bottom line.
And I think this is my personal thing of why I think Airbnb isn't making it a priority. I think they have too many hosts at this point. I think it's oversaturated, and I think your business is perfect at this time because it's oversaturated. They don't know which ones to pick, and then they come to you. Boom! Here goes the ones to pick. These are the good ones, and that's what I think it is. I think it's oversaturated. So Airbnb's kind of like, who cares? We're gonna get more hosts anyway. You know what I mean?
Right. You leave. Oh well, okay. We're $1 billion company. Like, leave, bro. So whatever.
Straight up, bounce.
I feel like that's how they look at it right now.
Yeah, like when people complain, like, "Hey, Airbnb does this," like, Airbnb don't give a damn. They're like, "Man, we got that money. You can keep
like
pushing."
When people complain about like Facebook or Instagram, oh, chronological order. I'm like, bro, your tweet is not about to change anything. Like, they're running their business the way they want, and if you want to delete your account, that's fine to them. They do not care.
Straight up. That's real,
that's
man.
Where I want to. I've noticed that, so I'm like, I want to help these hosts. Like, yo, let's make your experience better. Like, it should be fun. Like, you're doing it for a reason. It should be about meeting people and people enjoying your place and bragging about your place. Like, you worked hard on it. You deserve to be appreciated for it.
Yeah, and I feel like another thing where hosts can be helped out right now is like security, because like most of the people, like you just said, like most of the people like, oh, I didn't get this amount of money back, or certain, like, I think it's something that somebody can build with certain levels of security for the host to make them start enjoying the experience again. Because most hosts, like, I'm a host, so when you first start doing it, man, it's exciting. You get those first few dings, that money's coming in, you're like, oh snap, and then after a while you're just like, okay, another guest, it's money, but and then it starts to become, I feel like when you do something for a long time, you get bad at it because you just get complacent with it. It's anything you do. So I feel like that's why I've automated everything, got other people to take care of it for me so they can stay fresh. But yeah, and I think what you're doing, man, it's a good thing, man. Like, the hosts need that.
Well, my vision is, like, hopefully Airbnb takes note, and hopefully I get a call or something one day and it's like, yo, help us improve, like, this experience on our side too. It's like I feel like if they do some stuff, like, they can really change it. Because what people don't realize, and I don't know if Airbnb realizes, like, Airbnb is kind of just a name. Like, when somebody books your place, like, yeah, it's an Airbnb, but it's you. So if they have a bad experience, it's not Airbnb. It's like you didn't do a good job. Mm-hmm. And so people just, I don't like Airbnb now because I had, like, one bad experience. I'm like, that person is not the same as a person in Texas. That person ain't the same as somebody in Spain. That person ain't the same as someone in Japan. Like, it's way different. So it's kind of like, how can Airbnb help, like, that?
Yeah.
It seems like they're not really taking care of anybody, really. They're just providing you the opportunity to use their services.
Yeah, that's funny because there's a stereotype involved with Airbnb still today. Because I talk to people at my work, like I said, I work at an airline. We travel, or most people travel a lot. And I'll ask them, hey, you ever stayed at an Airbnb? They got some Airbnbs over there. Like, man, I ain't staying in no one's house, man. That's nasty. Right. I'm like, what? It's better than a hotel. Yeah. A lot of times.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm like, low key, y'all be the same people that will go to the club and sleep at somebody else's house. Yeah. Oh, what are you talking about? Like, you only knew this dude for like a couple hours. You stayed at his crib. What's different? You know what I mean? I'm like, y'all be staying at people's houses. Don't get it messed up. Like, you only sleep at your house 100% of the time. For real. Your house, hotels all the time. You don't ever sleep at no one's house.
At least the sheets clean at the Airbnb, man. You
right, I'm like, you don't know, but I'm like, the same thing. Like, you go to your friend's house, they're cooking the food. They're not wearing hairnets. You don't know if they're washing their hands. Like, you're always taking a risk no matter where you go. So it's like, you just got to do your research on those people. And
definitely.
It's like, it can be a good experience. I can understand where people could be worried about security as far as, like, is this person going to come in while I'm here? Because they could just easily unlock the door. But I think that's where Airbnb, like you said, it's hard because there's so many of them now. But if they had, like, a level of security that you have to have in order to have an Airbnb, I think that would help.
Yeah.
Here's an idea for you. I know you're doing great in your business and stuff. I don't know, it just crossed my mind because you're gonna have hosts on your site. You're gonna have potential guests on your site, right? You're gonna have both. They're gonna have their profiles and stuff. Mm-hmm. Now, what if, let's say, they book, let's say, one of the people that is a member of your group is gonna book one of the places that's on your group also. Maybe you can say, hey, you book through the group, you get like a 5% discount because y'all are both members or something like that.
Yeah, I think that's the way to kind of go in the future. Is like, hey, when you book, message these hosts, and they should somehow be able to give you some type of discount or something.
Yeah, I think that would be cool because, like, you're connecting people together,
Right.
And so,
it's like right now, it's like, hey, we're not taking a commission from you, so give it to them, and they're going to let you to somebody else, which is in turn going to make you more money.
Right. So when are you going to start doing Airbnb hosting?
I don't know, man. I don't know. I wanna get this rolling enough to where, like, when I do, it's gonna be like the best Airbnb ever.
Oh, okay. So you want to
where, like, I can go to all these places and I can take ideas and then I can just put them all into, like, one cool place.
You know what? I think I need to do that. Start staying at some Airbnbs and grabbing ideas, man.
I told you.
Because I've only...
I think some people think like, okay, when I say unique, that means like you have to either buy a place that's unique or you have to like build it from scratch. I'm like, you can take a normal room and you can put stuff in it that'll make it unique, like whether it be the sheets or the wall coloring or the lights or whatever. I'm like, some of that stuff doesn't have to be expensive. Like you can probably get on Pinterest or YouTube and just DIY some of that stuff. But I'm like, you just have to go out in the world and like find out what that is.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I need to start doing that, man. I've stayed at a few and I've grabbed ideas from, but I'm gonna start doing a little bit more.
That's kind of cool because I get excited doing stuff like that. I mean, I've never been, man. I mean, I've been a single dude most of my life. I got a little family now, but I've been a single dude. I just get whoever's leftover furniture from the family to fill up my house, kind of thing, and just roll like that. I didn't go shopping for. I like I told Micah, I've never bought a curtain in my life until I had to, make my Airbnb. I had to go freaking buy curtains. I've never done that in my life. I was like, where do I buy curtains at, man? And so, but like I'm right now, currently. At my primary residence, because I have an Airbnb. I have a long-term rental, and I have an Airbnb that I'm doing out, about 15 minutes from here. But the current residence, my wife does esthetician stuff, like beauty salon stuff like that. So in the house, I've been building her own little salon. And I just thought, it's kind of cool because I want to make it unique. I want to make it nice, for people to come through. I want them to have a great experience. And that makes me feel good. And I hit up the IKEA. I got a whole bunch of crap from IKEA for real cheap. And just, but like you said, you can do so much with just a little bitty things, little bitty touches to make it differentiate from other places, And that's what you want. That's what you want to do with your Airbnbs, right?
Right.
Yeah. So I don't know if I'm gonna Airbnb out her beauty salon. We'll see. But that's cool. It's cool what you're doing. And me and Micah are gonna make our profiles right after this. So we want all our guests to go on there and make profiles. All of our listeners to go on there and make profiles too, if that's cool. You said free. It's free right now, right?
Yeah. So for people that are just looking, all you got to do is just literally you just hit become a guest. It's just gonna ask for like your email address and a password. So you just create like an account on there so you can log in. Because I kind of did some of the hosts, right? They want to check out, like see what the site is, and they're like, oh, I can't look at something without logging in, and they kind of get put off because they want to check it out without signing up. And I'm like, I'm kind of doing that for you, right? If you put your listing on my website and I can't email market to anybody, how is that going to benefit you? Because like, wouldn't you rather me have everybody's email listing? That way I can be like, hey, new cool listing to check out in Arlington, and I can email everybody on the site, everybody in a specific area. I'm like, if I just let anyone go to the site, we're not capturing any of those leads. That's the main reason I do that. But I'm like, it's free right now for people, like as far as guests. It's like you just go become a member and you can look at any location.
That's dope.
So like, did you make the website yourself? Did you build it yourself?
I had somebody help me with it, but okay. I feel like everything like now, once we had like the main like template down. That's so cool. If we need to add anything, I do all that, which I went to college for computer science and informatics, so that helps.
Oh man, same as me, man. That's pretty cool.
Yep. So that helps. I'm like, man, that saves money. You gotta pay somebody for every little change. That gets expensive.
Yeah.
Because our podcast is heavy on the Airbnb, but we're also about any kind of side hustles, share economy, stuff like that. And with and that's what I was wondering, because you paid someone to build your site, right?
Right.
But anybody can, most anybody can build a simple site, but you're dealing with like people getting on there and putting profiles and stuff like that. That's a little more advanced, right?
Not necessarily. It's WordPress. You can get plugins that are for that. Mine was more of the fact that I'm doing other stuff, so I'm like, do I want to spend like the 10, 12 hours it's going to take when I could just have it in my mind and tell somebody else, pay them, get on Upwork, probably, that's what I usually do. Then on Upwork, I have one of my dudes that lives in India, so it's like nice. $200-300 is good for him. For me, it's like, okay, I just saved all these hours. You can build it while I'm sleeping.
Yep. Straight up, man. Upwork and onlinejobs.ph. You want that good, cheap labor.
Right.
Real, man.
Right. Right.
Real. Get you somebody for $3 an hour and handle everything for you.
Yes, sir.
See,
My thing.
so you said you got other things going on. What other things? You got other hustles or what else?
Yeah, so right now I'm one of the partners that it's called Nona Social. It's a online publication, if you will. So one of my dudes, he built this. He came out to Lake Nona, which is an area in Orlando, when it was like cow pastures, like nothing out here. He knew that he had a vision that it was going to be big. Now it's one of the fastest growing communities in the United States. Lake Nona, look it up. It's just crazy. So he built up the Facebook group. It is all people basically in Lake Nona. Almost 20,000 people on the Facebook group. Almost 30,000 hits to the website every month, and then almost about 7,000 followers on Instagram. So basically, anything that happens in in this area, we're the ones that promote it. Like we'll put out the articles, put out the blogs, put out the videos. We do live videos. We do tastings. We do soft openings. So we basically cover like this whole area. So that's like one of my main focuses right now.
Oh, that's awesome, man.
So
Straight hustler, man. Dee Greene fits, man. Dee Greene.
So my wife, like I said, she's into the makeup, skincare, esthetician kind of whatever. She said there's a big convention September 16th coming to Orlando. I think it's a big makeup convention or something like that. And so yeah, I'm gonna be hitting you up for some advice on places to stay over there.
Is it hair and makeup?
It might be, yeah, it might be all
Up in
together.
my rates. Hold up.
So I remember it was either last year or the year before that. It gets crazy. Yeah. If it's the same one that they've been having, it gets crazy. Like it's a lot. It's big out there.
Okay, that might be the one.
At the actual convention center out there on the iDrive. You might not know where it's at, but it's at the convention center, right?
The convention center, I believe so. Yeah, it's like a two-day event, something like that.
Yeah, if not longer. But yeah.
Need to up my rates out in Orlando, man. That money.
Yeah, but not for me though. Come on, man. So,
Oh yeah, not for you, but yeah, I got multiple.
Yeah, there's some crazy places out here in Orlando. Like I just got an email earlier from this place. It's I don't know the exact number, but let's call it $1,600 a night.
God dang.
It's 60 acres. 60 acres.
60.
Yeah, 60.
Well, that's for like weddings and stuff, right?
Nah, bro, it's crazy. I can send you guys the links. But basically what they did is they did each room like a game. So they have a
Oh, I seen that one. Go ahead.
Yeah, that's out here. So they have like a laser tag in like one of the rooms. They have like a pool. They have like putt-putt. They have like crazy stuff. And so you probably saw one of those videos. What I didn't know is that they have 4 of those, and they're all different. So they have 4 estates, like they call them. So I'm like, yo, they told me they're like, you can come film, but it's like $300 and some for 3 or 4 hours. They don't just let anybody come. Like you have to have over 500,000 followers if you want it for free. I'm like, is that a tip? Like, can we get a group of people and add that up?
You can borrow some of our followers, I guess.
That's a good idea. What they did though, hey, if you have a certain amount of followers, you can come film. Dang, and then you get those. Dang, that's smart.
Yeah, that's a lot of followers if you think about it. Think about how many friends we know that have 5,000 followers.
Exactly.
Like, and you would need to have over 100 of them.
God
to
dang.
This is 500,000.
Dang, man. But that's smart though. You know how much exposure they get just from doing that? That's crazy. Dang, that's pretty dope though.
Hey, you a member of the Airbnb professional hosts Facebook page?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's where I saw your video at. Did you post it there? Your video?
Yeah. That is. Because I liked it, and I think you messaged me from there.
And there's like 30,000 people on that one, right? On that
Yeah,
Facebook.
but I feel like I feel like people don't engage as much in some of these groups. I feel like so what I noticed is like everything on Facebook is more for the host than it is for the guests. Like it's always like, how do we make more money rather than like, how do we give the guests a good experience? That's going to get your listing out. Like post pictures, post videos, instead of people, if I was a host, instead of posting a question, like typing, I would just record it. I'd be like, hey, does anybody know anything about, like I would videotape like, yo, look what this host just left, or look what this guest just left. And I would like take a little video, like, what do you guys think about this? Do it on like live. So I think people always complain like, oh, people don't get to know us. Like, there's a disconnect. I'm like, well, you have Facebook. You're in these groups. Like, you never do Instagram Live. You're not doing Facebook Live. You're not posting no pictures. Like, connect with these people.
Dang, man.
Well, one question I have for you guys, do you feel like, because Airbnb has something similar kind of to what we're doing, which I would almost say is Airbnb Plus. Do you feel like that makes a difference to people choosing to book? Because to me, I don't really look at that whenever I'm booking a place.
I'm not an Airbnb Plus host, but after reading the guidelines, it's almost like you work for Airbnb if you sign up for that. I mean, it might work for you, but I feel like from the rules that I've read, we need to do that. We need to interview an Airbnb Plus host and see if we can talk to one of them. But what I feel like from what I've read, it seems like that you're more catering to Airbnb because you have to accept a certain amount of guests to be qualified for it. So I don't think like in what you do, I don't think it helps with the experience. I think it keeps your vacancy rate down. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You have more people.
I see that they go to some places and they actually take the pictures for them.
Mm-hmm.
So do people care about that enough to book it versus booking somewhere else? I don't know that they do.
Yeah, high-end pictures. Yeah, I'm not say his name, but I know people that Photoshop their pictures just to get more people to book. So yeah,
I mean, I definitely agree that there's better pictures help, but what I'm saying is by it being categorized as an Airbnb Plus, is that people being like, oh, I'm going to look on Airbnb Plus first, and then I'm going to look over here, or is it just like, hey, if I find this place and it has better pictures, that helps. I don't know if people are specifically saying, oh, I only use Airbnb Plus. Like, people will only use Uber XL or Uber whatever.
I'll speak to it as a client or as a guest, because I mostly use Airbnbs. So the first thing I look for is location. Second thing, maybe price. Price and location. And then if it's a cool spot, I haven't dove into like, oh, I gotta stay at this fancy schmancy plus place. I haven't done that yet because I'm assuming that they're high end, they're super high end, because they won't just let anybody have them, and they're gonna be very expensive. So I guess for a normal working schmo like me, I'm not looking for the plus experience unless I'm going, I don't know, somewhere special with my wife, like for a honeymoon, or not honeymoon, but like a anniversary or something. But still, I haven't crossed my mind to look at pluses yet.
Also, I think he has an advantage though, because Airbnb Plus is only in certain cities. So, for example, they'll give you the best Airbnb or the Airbnb Pluses in the city of Austin. You're going everywhere. They're pretty much singling out certain cities. Like a high end city like Austin, L.A., New York. You're like, hey, I'll go to. If you have a cool Airbnb in Oklahoma, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think, and I don't know, and I actually want to learn more about that. And actually, I'm happy you said that, because that gives us an idea to go. Maybe we need to find people that are Airbnb Plus guests or hosts and see if they're more enticed. That's a good question.
From my research of looking through all of them as we've been doing this, I'm like, Airbnb Plus isn't a different standard. They just do it better. They'll take better pictures, but it could still be a normal Airbnb. It's not like, oh, this Airbnb Plus, when I actually get there, I know it's an Airbnb Plus. Like, if I was there, would I know? Like, it's not really a difference. It's just on the site, they package it differently.
Oh.
Whereas, like...
Have you stayed in the Airbnb Plus before?
No, I haven't.
Okay, go ahead.
And that's why was kind of my point. Like, when I go through the Airbnb Plus, to me, it's not like they stick out. Like, a lot of the hidden gems that we found are not Airbnb Plus. So what I'm saying is, if I'm a guest and I use Airbnb Plus, when I get there, I want to know it. So I want it to be like, okay, if you go to Vantage and you stay somewhere, like, it. Like, you're like, dang, like, this place is unique. Like, they actually did pick me out a good spot. It's not just, hey, this host has accepted like 90% or whatever, like what you're talking about of their things, and that, they have 90 reviews or whatever it is. It's like, yo, this is actually a cool place. Man. And that's the criteria. And then we get to the next stuff. I think for them, it's just like, hey, if you meet these guidelines and whatever, then we'll come take some pictures. But it's not actually making your place better.
Yeah. Hey man, I think you're tossing out some good gems, man. Hopefully nobody from Airbnb's listening, man. That Dee Greene about to be they green, man. They about to be. Hold on, that's a good idea.
Don't give the ideas, y'all. Just call me. Let's do this.
Oh yeah. Or Airbnb call you because that's a good idea because I never thought about that. The Airbnb, but at the same time, when I'm on Airbnb, I don't see too many pluses. Like, I know it's in Austin because I like purposely. Because I have a listing down in Austin, and they asked if I wanted to sign up for it. It's only in a handful of places. So you're way far beyond what they're doing because you're trying to do it everywhere.
Think about it. They have to personally go.
Yeah.
And not only are they taking pictures, but they're stylizing the place. So either they have to have the people that they do be willing to go to these places, or they have to find people in those places to do it. So that's going to take a long time if they're going to try to do that with a lot of places. And then they have to revisit those places. That's why I was like, instead of us doing it, let's just have the guests do it. Like, you send us your video. And then it's kind of like with Instagram. It's like, if you don't post good pictures, you can't be mad that you're getting no engagement. So, hey, if you post a video and people aren't booking it, maybe you have to figure out what you need to do to change that. Like, we're just giving you the opportunity. Like, we know you're unique. How well can you show it, basically? Like, you don't have to wait for Airbnb to come and do all this stuff. Like, you can just do it at your own time.
Definitely.
No, on the same note, on your own personal website, are you going to do, like, different levels of places, too? Are you going to have, like, the primo Vantage place and then the second tier, third tier, or something like that?
Not really. What I did think about, though, is for the people... I basically want people to treat Airbnbs like they do tourist locations. Mm-hmm. So instead of being like, I want to see the Eiffel Tower, for example, they might be like, maybe not that extreme, but they might be like, hey, I want to go to this place. And then this is a cool place. I'm going to take my wife here, and then we'll build our vacation around that. So we'll go to this place. This is a city that we've never been. Like, this is our vacation. We're staying at this cool place. And then we'll go out to eat at places around there. We'll find out what's going on around there. So I think if people catch on to that idea, what I do want to do is categorize the Airbnbs. So instead of by city, it could be by like treehouse, by like RV, by mansion, by da-da-da-da. So then you're like, hey, we want to stay in a treehouse. Let's go on Vantage, look, and let's see all the different locations that they have.
That's awesome.
And then they can find it like based on that.
Because, I've tried to look them up like that on Airbnb before. Because I tried to look up treehouse or camper or something like that. And it doesn't work like that. They want you to put in a location, you know what I'm saying?
I think they may have changed that, though.
Is it changed now?
I think so. I'm not sure, though.
Oh, okay, cool. Because if you Google it, then, yeah, it'll pull up some of the Airbnbs that are actually campers or whatever. But if you go on their actual site, it wants you to put like a city or something like that.
Like you guys said, it's just like it's so saturated, and it gets worse every day. So many people. It's hard for them to do that, and the thing that we're doing that people don't realize is it's not computerized. Like with them, they want to have some algorithm that shows you this, or this. It's like, yo, we're handpicking it. It's like we envision ourselves in this space, and we're like, hey, would we appreciate it if we stayed there? It's like we don't have some computer just saying like, oh, look at the reviews and look at the amenities, da-da-da-da, come up with some rating, and then if they get this rating, then they go. It's like, hey, we're actually going to look personally. So for them, they have millions. That would take a long time or a team of people to kind of do that.
That's cool. And are you going to do some of your own experiences too, or you're going to just review Airbnb experiences? Because that's the thing that's kind of frustrating, is because Airbnb has experiences, but then again, you got to petition them to get your experience, whatever. If I want to start an experience, I'd like to be able to do it right now. My wife could teach, makeup or facials. I could teach art, something like that. I want to start it. I don't want to hit the petition Airbnb and send all this crap and hope that they choose me kind of thing. Are you going to actually do like Vantage experiences, stuff like that?
So, I don't know. I never thought of it like that. But what I envision is like, that's what I want to use like my personal brand for, like my YouTube, my Facebook, my Instagram. Like, I can find these people, and I can, just because it's not on Airbnb or just because it's not Airbnb experience, if it's cool, I can put you on a vlog episode or put you on Facebook or Instagram, and people can check you out like at their own will. I think that's the whole my whole thing is like just connecting people with cool things to do.
That's awesome, dude.
It's like, okay, this is Airbnb focused, but on my personal like stuff, it's like, yo, anything that's cool that I do that I know about, I'll show it to you guys. And if you guys want to do it, like, obviously, like, feel free to go do it.
I had a similar idea to this, you know, a couple years ago, and I made a Facebook, excuse me, a Facebook page for American Airlines employees, and I called it American Airlines Airbnbers, because, like I said, we travel a lot. We stay at Airbnbs. I'm sorry.
Say that one more time.
American Airlines Airbnbers.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's just I wanted to start a spot kind of similar to what you're doing. I wanted to find a place, you know, because we travel a lot as employees of American Airlines. We travel a lot for free. We go all over the world. We stay at Airbnbs, and I just wanted to put like a you know, I didn't make a website or nothing, just like a Facebook page where people can put, hey, I stayed here in Rome. Hey, I stayed here in Spain. You know, check it out next time you're in town, something like that. Yeah. Or if you're an employee and you Airbnb out your house, you can like hook up other employees with a good rate because you know they work at American, so they've been vetted, you know, security. You know, you're gonna get a good person, and so it's kind of, I mean, people use it, but it's not really, you know, it isn't. I mean, what you're doing is like to the next level, and I think you're onto something big here, man.
Yeah, you two could actually partner up, because I just thought about that. I see a lot of people in that page like asking like, hey, I'm going here, any of you guys know where to go? So yeah, it's very similar. He just operates off a website. That's
with the profiles and stuff. And
you guys could make a little duo.
Oh yeah, we're gonna do some business after we turn this podcast off.
We can't be giving away the gems to the people, like, yo, you can just
yeah.
By the way, in that box of Domino's pizza behind you, is it Canadian bacon and pineapple?
No, see that. Crazy.
You put pineapple on your pizzas?
Bro, never ever.
Come on. There's a big debate going on right now. I love pineapple on pizza. It's delicious.
Me too.
Dang, bro, for real?
Yeah, man.
I feel like pizza should be pizza. Pizza is pepperoni, sausage, and then you got like supreme. All that other stuff ain't pizza. You got to call it something else.
It's sweet, man. It's sweet.
Pizzas. I'm like, that's not a pizza. Like, you can't just... I can't put pepperonis on a flour tortilla and be like, yo, I got a taco. Like, bro, that's something else. Like, that's not a taco at that point. That's something else.
I would do that.
Man.
Oh, man.
I hate when people do that. Like, yo, I'm going to order a pizza. And I'm like, cool, just thinking they're going to get something normal. And they get it. It's like buffalo chicken with pineapple and all this stuff. I'm like, dog.
Yeah, I don't do the buffalo chicken and all the chicken toppings. I don't do that.
Bro, why didn't you just get chicken if you want a chicken? Or get pineapple if you want a pineapple?
Yeah, man. Holla at Popeyes, man.
Get some wings on the side or something. But yeah, man, this has been a good show, man. It's a cool site. You know, it's funny because I found you on the Airbnb professional host page. It's a cool page because people go on there and bitch about Airbnb, and then they start going and getting on Facebook wars against each other and stuff.
Facebook wars.
I think I almost joined every Airbnb Facebook group I could find.
I'm going to start joining more of them. The people in that professional host group aren't too fond of me. But other than that, I'm gonna try to join a few more.
I'm going to start changing the game, bro. Watch. I'm going to start, instead of typing in there, I'm going to start, every time I want to talk, I'm going to do a video.
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool. Do a video.
No one does that. I'm just like, yo, what's up? How y'all doing today? Blah, blah, blah.
It's great, man. Great ideas, great stuff, great innovation.
So how long have you guys been doing the podcast?
This is since last October. We started before that, right?
Been doing it a while now,
last
man.
June or it's been going on a year already, I think.
Yeah,
we've been doing it for a
year
now. How
many episodes we have? 59.
This is 59, episode 59.
Almost. We'll be at 100 soon. Yeah, we've been doing it a while, and then.
So how you guys do about one a week?
We average about one a week. Sometimes more, sometimes less, but it's about an average once a week.
Yeah.
And so I listened to a couple of you guys. I listened to the most recent one with that lady. I forget what her name is.
The lady?
The last one that you did, I believe.
Oh, with the wives?
Yeah, and then there was one before that I think I watched one on YouTube.
Oh, I think with probably Tracy. It's been
Tracy, yeah.
Okay. So I had listened to those two. So most of those were focused on like people that are hosting, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Their stories. So what made you guys start like the podcast, and what is like what is your main focus like with it?
You know, when we started it, because I met Micah at a investing.
Pockets.
Yeah, it was through Bigger Pockets,
Mm-hmm.
but it was like a stock investment thing that I was doing, that I'm still doing. But anyways, I met him at a thing like that. We talked. He started telling us about how he's killing it on Airbnb. I didn't have my Airbnb yet, but you know, we're both members of Bigger Pockets. It's what Bigger Pockets is?
No.
Okay, it's a real estate based website where you get a profile and all that stuff too. It's pretty huge actually, and so we met on there. And then he started telling me all about how he's killing it on Airbnb. And I was like, oh, crap, I need to start. And I told him, I've done a podcast before in the past. And I thought, he had great information. I said, well, as a guest, I've stayed at a ton of Airbnbs. So you could give the perspective as a host. I can give perspective as a guest. And we can start a podcast. And we just started it from there, man.
Yeah. And at first, it started off me being the host, Steve being the guest. And then Steve got his. And then the thing about Steve had a broad range now because he has the guest experience and the host experience. And we're just kind of, more or less, we try to encourage people who are scared to do Airbnb.
As a guest or as a host?
What was that?
As a guest or as a host?
Both, really. But we do more towards people that have properties because we also do share economy real estate stuff that have properties and don't want to, and they kind of have that fear of Airbnb. We kind of encourage them to go ahead and do it. We run across people all the time. They say, "Hey, I have an Airbnb, I have a house, but I don't want about parties and all this other stuff." Just kind of things that they've heard are bad about Airbnbs. We kind of give them that encouragement.
One thing I always tell people is like, I always tell people, I'm not saying that your idea is dumb. Like every fear is a reality.
Uh-huh.
But like you do realize that if we're talking right now, 9 times out of 10, you just drove over to where I'm at. I'm like, you know how many accidents are on the road? Like you just drove on the highway.
Exactly.
So you're scared of Airbnb, but yeah, you trust all these people that you don't know on the highway driving 70, 80 miles per hour. It's like people get killed every single day. Like Airbnb is like one freak accident, like out of all the millions that happen, like every day, every week, every month. So it's like why are you not scared to get on the road and drive?
Exactly.
It's like that's way more risky.
How much crazy stuff happens at hotels and motels every day?
Right. I'm like, that stuff is crazy too. Like those are you act like it's a business. Like those are people working there too. Like there's people working everywhere. Hotels, restaurants,
motels. You know how many dope houses and prostitution rings run through there? Just saying, man. People but the thing is, I feel like a lot of that stigmatism comes from hotel industry putting that stuff out in the media, and I feel like and that was a thing that we talked about today at the meetup I went to. Was like the hotel's effect on Airbnbs because they just shut down San Diego today. So, it's just city after city is just being shut down. It's just
they shut Airbnb down.
Yeah, like San Diego, they put some tough laws and restrictions.
You have to live in the house.
Yeah,
to Airbnb out of it.
Yeah, you have to live on the house. I live in the house. I mean, and it's happening all around the country. I mean, it's and then I feel like it's the hotel industry behind it. I tell people if you're going to start an Airbnb, stay away from tourist destinations.
Say that one more time.
If you're going to start an Airbnb, stay away from tourist destinations that have a high number of hotels because the hotel industry is cracking down on Airbnbs right now.
I hate that. To me, I'm like, you're stopping the progress of like natural human like behaviors. Like there's technology. They can't just be like a telephone company back in the day and be like, oh, we don't like these cell phones and stuff. It's like that. Like what if we didn't have the internet? Like we didn't have Uber and we didn't have Airbnb. Like our lives would be so much different than it is now.
I think it's going to be really hard. It's a huge tide, It's a huge wave happening. It's going to be hard to stop it. A lot of governments, local governments, stuff like that, are going to try to stop it, but it's just too big now.
I just hate that people always talk about like home of the free and all this stuff. I'm like, man, look, we have great companies, people inventing great ideas, not just for America, but for the whole world. And it's like, you guys are trying to stop them just because your company is losing money, rather than being innovative within your company and saying, okay, they're doing this, how can we be innovative on our side and compete with that? Instead, they're just like, oh, we just want to shut it down. That way we don't have to change. It's like, how's that right?
And I think like The only thing the hotel industry the hotel industry wants to spend money to stop Airbnb, but doesn't want to spend money to make their places on par with Airbnbs. That's what trips me out. You know, they're so used to making that money. They're like, well, we don't want to spend the money because all they got to do is add a kitchen and you have an Airbnb in a hotel. I mean, damn, it ain't that hard. You know what I mean? So, I mean, it's just they don't want to spend that bread.
Here's what I compare it to a little bit off topic, but on topic.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, the CD music industry, right? Remember when they were charging us $20 for a damn CD, right? And you would maybe get 2 good songs on the damn thing, and they put fluff on the other, but they knew you had to buy the CD to get them songs. Yeah. Right. And then the internet came along, and then boom, they put all their music out there for free. That's an extreme thing. But what happened out of it is the artists started making better CDs because like crap, no one's gonna buy a CD anymore unless it's really good. Started making better CDs. Record companies stopped trying to fleece the people, so the prices went down. But then what came out of it? Spotify came out of it. Apple Music, these other streaming places. I mean, it just evolved. You tried to stop it. You tried to get all these lawsuits. Let's kill CD Baby. Let's kill all these other sites or whatever. Yeah. And then what's the big one they tried to?
Napster.
Napster. We're gonna go all these freaking lawsuits and this and that. They tried to stop this huge wave of electronic music, but then it finally took over, and it's part of our lives.
Question: do you think the hotel industry will die?
No, I don't. They have to evolve. They have to evolve.
I don't think it would be good for that to happen.
Yeah.
Think about like, for example, let's say you go to like Hawaii or something. You're going to have a limited selection of where you stay. Like, there's not the same selection as if you're staying in the city. So let's say you're a family and you have like 3 or 4 kids and you have your wife. That might not be suitable for you, but a hotel is. So I think it's good to have like those options.
Okay. So how much of a law do you think? Because, the hotel money, the hotel money is behind these lawsuits and these people being shut down. How long do you think it'll be before these places are able to pick back up, like the San Diegos, the Denver?
I just don't get it. I just don't understand why they can't if the people don't want it, then their business won't survive because we won't be using it. So it's like, why do we use all these laws? Like, clearly we want to use it. If we don't want to use it, you don't have to worry about them because they're going to go out of business anyways.
Yeah. I think they're seeing a number in their revenue. They're seeing a hit. Yeah.
Like, let us.
Yeah.
Exactly. Let the people speak what they want.
Yeah.
Well, man.
I don't know. I think that's something maybe I need to pay more attention to, of like some of the laws and stuff, the requirements. That's something I don't always focus on. I'm kind of like, let Airbnb do that side, and I just let people know, like, here's a recommendation. Like, we're just recommending it to you, but make sure you obviously do your research before you do it. It's kind of like if I recommend you a sushi place, you can't be mad at me if you're eating raw fish. Like, you should know that. Like, I'm just telling you that if you like this type of stuff, this is where you should go. So, like, do your research before you do any bookings.
Exactly.
Man, that was a good little Airbnb hotel industry stuff going on.
Crazy,
cool.
Man.
Well, cool, D. One more question: if you could package your own bag of nuts, what would you call those nuts?
What? What?
I ask stupid stuff like peanuts, cashews. If you made your own bag of nuts, what would you call those nuts?
These nuts.
Wow.
It's obvious, right?
It's obvious, yeah. That's what you was looking for, or was that just a good answer?
No, it was a perfect answer, man.
Yeah, that's exactly what I found.
Oh, man.
Well, man, this has been a great interview. We appreciate you hopping on, and everybody go on there and get on Vantage. How do you spell that again?
B as in Victor, ANTIIJ.
Vantage.com?
Yeah, Vantage.com.
Make you a free profile, and, take your Airbnb into the next level with Vantage, man.
And we also got the Facebook group, which might be easier to find, which is just Airbnb Super Guests. It's like Super Host, but Super Guests. That's kind of...
I said that before.
Super Guests.
It's like a Super Guest account.
Cool, man. Well, it's been nice hanging with you, man, and we'll keep in touch. Probably hop on the show again in the future, telling us how you're kicking ass and you're, living in a mansion and stuff like that.
Yo, let's get it. We all gonna link up one day.
Definitely. I'm going to be down in Florida. We'll be down there to kick it with you.
How far is Arlington from McAllen?
From where?
McAllen? Oh, that's 900 miles south of us. McAllen.
Oh, okay. I thought I flew out the airport from there, but
You might have went through DFW airport and then down if you would have connected, probably.
I don't know where McAllen is.
McAllen, South Texas, by Padre.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Way down there. Yeah, we're up in the middle of Texas.
I remember when we moved down there, we drove down there, and it was like so quick, and then we got to Texas, and it took like 3 weeks to get down there. I'm like, man, this is a long state.
It's a big state, man. It's huge.
It takes, I think from one side to the other, it takes 18 hours to get through Texas.
Like, if I get in my car and I drive 8-9 hours, I'm in Georgia or Tennessee or something like that.
Yeah.
In Texas, still in Texas.
Yeah.
Can't even go to the state.
18 hours to get across the whole state, dude. That's crazy.
Well, cool, man. Well, thanks for being on, like I said, and we'll put all your links up and everything. And great meeting you, and keep it up, man.
Yeah, thanks for having me on, y'all. Appreciate it. Good meeting
Definitely,
y'all.
man.
All right, later.
Peace. Good interview. If you guys want to hit up D, we'll have his information in the show notes. Remember, you can hit us up at liveletthrive.com. If you guys want that free consultation, remember to sign up your new listing under us. Just go to Live Let Thrive and click one of our many links that are sitting there. And if you're in the DFW area, we will personally come to your listing. Me, Steve, Lupita, and Mahogany.
What up, Jerome?
Romy Rome. Yeah, we seen your messages, Romy Rome.
Well, yeah, you already told him where you can find us.
Yeah, liveletthrive.com. You can email us at liveletthrive@gmail.com. And you can join our Facebook group, Live Let Thrive fan group, and go like our regular page, Live Let Thrive. And you can hit me up at sharebnb.com and like my Sharebnb page.
Awesome. Well, thank y'all for listening, and I hope you enjoyed it.
Peace.
Later.
Thank you for tuning in to this week's episode of Live, Let, Thrive. Be sure to tune in next week for all the latest in the world of Airbnb and all that entails. Bye-bye.